Greetings and salutations. My name is OJ as always, and yesterday I made a video talking about the kill switch and Streetwise and how bad it was and why they weren't using the kill switch, blah blah blah. Talked about the responses from a community manager, I believe, from DeadByDaylight, and yeah, I complained a lot, and I said it was very, very stupid that they weren't using this very, very good feature to rightfully disable a perk that was damn near breaking the game. For those that were unaware, using Streetwise, you were able to get infinite charges on any item you wished. Yeah, very, very broken, and it has been like that since the PTB came out, I believe, which was, about a month ago, so pretty bad. But 5 hours after I made that video, they published this. They are dickheads for doing this to me, man. I published my video and then 5 hours later we get this. And let's address the big thing. Streetwise has been kill switched. For less than 14 hours. As good as this is, right? That they did kill switch Streetwise, Blood Rush, and Last Stand. For those unaware, Blood Rush had something to do with the exhaustion abuse, I believe. I don't really know why Blood Rush was kill switched, but I'm sure someone's going to tell me, right? And Last Stand was kill switched because its vaulting animation actually gave you more invincibility frames, or was faster, or something like that. It just made it so killers had a harder time hitting you when you vaulted with that perk. And Streetwise, obviously, infinite items. But yeah, they published this like 5 hours after I put out my video. So here we are again, and we're going to read through this, and I'm going to give my opinions on it. I've already read through it, like, beforehand, but let's read through it together. Followed your conversations very closely about the state of the game as of late, and we agree it's not in the place we would all like it to be. Recent releases, including our most recent, have introduced frustrating new issues which have distracted from your enjoyment of Dead by Daylight. We wanted to acknowledge this and let you in on the steps we'll be taking to resolve these issues in the short and long term. So yeah, as I said, kill switched Streetwise, Blood Rush, and Last Stand. However, it feels a bit redundant because today, August 6th, today, August 6th, Streetwise and Last Stand will have been hotfixed to no longer have these issues. Not to say, I mean, it's good that they got kill switch, but I mean, if they were going to fix them in under like 24 hours later, like, you might as well just leave them. I know I was very adamant on them disabling Streetwise, but they should have disabled it a week ago, before the patch even came out. But they didn't. They let it run amok, and honestly, at that point, you've already let it run amok for 5 days. You were going to fix it less than a day later. You should have just left it. It feels just kind of pathetic, and generally, this is my opinion on this thing. It feels a bit pathetic, really, but we'll get to that when we get to it. But yeah, Streetwise and Last Stand should have been fixed. By the way, they did actually put out a bug fix patch notes thingy. We'll read through that as well, which I actually haven't read through that, so anyways. We will make small adjustments to fog vials, decreasing base fog opacity and the volume of ambient fog audio. This last part's good for me. For those that don't know, I'm partially deaf in my right ear. It's harder to hear things from my right ear than it is my left. That's why my video on Spirit looks so bad, because I'm not very good with audio and tracking people if they're on, say, the right hand side. Another hotfix is underway, scheduled to follow next week. Among others, this hotfix will address Blood Rush. So, you guys are going to have to bow down and thank me for this. I know this is probably because as a community we came together and said this, but I said it first. I am the main proprietor of this. I said it in my video from like I don't know if I said it in the PTV video, but I definitely said it in my video, like complaining about the patch, the enough is enough video. Yeah, I did say they should have limited uses, and they should be different between each of the rarities. So clearly, Behaviour saw my video, and I'm just the GOAT, and they're changing it because of me. Trust me, guys. I'm just that influential. In one day, I've suddenly become the voice for Behaviour to listen to. Definitely, 100%. But this is a good change. That was my main issue with them, outside of, the thing where they disabled chases, and it was the fact that they had unlimited uses. They were annoying for me. They made me feel funny. Not like, they don't make me feel sick, but they're just not very pleasant to run through. It's not even an issue of like, oh, damn, the survivor ran away and I can't see them in the fog. No, it's more that I just feel not great walking through them. I feel a little bit nauseous, per se. So yeah, that's probably still going to be the case, but thank God they now have a limited set of uses. This is exactly what I was championing for, and this is for me, the net positive of this article. This is the main thing that I'm very happy with. And we have the processes overhaul. As a result of your feedback and internal discussions on the same topic, we will immediately be rebuilding our internal kill switch process to be more nimble and better account for community sentiment. After one of the community managers said that the community should have never been told about the kill switch, which is a really, really bad look. Not for her or them. I don't know. Let's just get this big thing out of the way. The person the other day who was making sort of these comments, I don't think it was specifically this person. Same person actually. This person here, do not send hate their way whatsoever. What we should be doing is sending hate to Behaviour. These responses, right? They are probably not of their own accord. I would like to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that these are responses that were given to them by the higher ups, by not the developers, but you know what I mean, like by the people further up the totem pole. And they were basically thrown to the wolves. They were told to say these responses, and maybe the developers just didn't know that they were going to get huge amounts of shit for this, but they did, as they well should, because these are very tone-deaf responses, especially the kill switch is not a fixed one. That's terrible, absolutely terrible. But please do not send hate their way. They are probably just a mouthpiece for the beliefs or words from the developers, which makes a statement kind of like this very stupid. Very, very this is what really kind of pisses me off. How they're kind of like not deflecting. No, it feels like they're deflecting away from the fact that they're the ones that made the comments. Like the ones higher up the totem pole are the ones that were making the comments. This person was just a mouthpiece for the comments. They were thrown to the wolves. Obviously, this is me giving benefit of the doubt to this person in question, which I feel like people should, considering that they're, from the sounds of it, a community manager. They're not involved in the actual development process, so these are probably statements they were told to say by people up the totem pole. But by saying this, it feels like you're kind of deflecting the blame for the horrible decisions and horrible statements you were giving to this person off onto that person specifically, because they're the only ones who I've seen who made comments about Streetwise. So saying we wanted to address the comments made by the team, it wasn't the team, it was one person. And that looks like, to me, that you're deflecting your terrible statements onto this single person. Plus, obviously, as I'm sure you're all very aware, Behaviour has a very long track record of saying they'll do things, but then not following through with it. So, this kill switch process overhaul is something I am not very faithful for. I don't have much faith that they will follow through with it, because there has been many times in the past where they say they'll do something and they just won't. Just as an example, hey guys, we're not going to fix any of the twins' bugs because they've got their rework coming up. Their rework comes out, it's very, very, very bad. They revert the rework entirely and none of the bugs are fixed, and the twins are still as buggy as they ever are in the current day. So where are those bug fixes that were apparently going to come after the rework? Oh, they never showed up. Shocker. They have a track record of saying they'll do things but not actually following through with it. And it's nice and all that they're saying this, and it's nice that they're addressing this. Good on them for, kill switching Streetwise, but they fixed it barely even a day later. No, under a day later. And this whole process overhaul thing is, it's good that you're addressing that the kill switch needs to be used more often per se, but let's wait and see. Let's wait and see until they actually start, following through with their words. Like, let's see them do as they say in just any scenario. Like, this is a good, fine, let's go with fine, a fine enough response. I've seen some people being very positive about it and saying, woo, Dead by Daylight is saved, but it's not. We must account for the fact that to get to this point, this article would not have been made if people like myself, everyone else, like Scott Jund, Mint Skull, anyone else on Twitter, like all of you in my comments, if we didn't complain very loudly, very consistently, this article that we're reading probably wouldn't even exist. We probably would never have gotten a feedback thing from them, because they won't cave. They would not have done this unless we, as a community, had a go at them as much as we did. And we rightfully had a go at them. By the way, I just need to say that. We had full right to have a go at them, and then some. But this is all good and all. It's good that they're acknowledging this, but first things first, we need to wait to see if they actually follow through with it. And second things second, this only exists because we complained a lot. They would never have done this if we never complained. So it doesn't really have any impact to someone like myself, because not only do the things they talk about we have to wait and see, but this article would have never existed if we didn't, actually shout at them a lot. And thankfully some other people are saying this, like Spooky Loops, this is great and all, but why does it actually always take so much community outcry for the team to actually realise something is bad? They just feel very stubborn. Like, people would complain about things that are so very clearly and obviously broken in some way, shape or form, but they just don't care. Ever. I hope this isn't the part where the community just gives them endless amounts of undeserved credit. They have yet to earn any, as I just said. They're usually all talk and no action, as I just said. And so far, that's all I believe this will be, especially since this is just a response to pressure and not their core belief. Again, that's kind of what I just said, but in a different wording. And again, sadly, as long as Dead by Daylight does not have a warpy competitor, the community has to be very vocal and annoying about stuff to get stuff done. Kill switch, but hopefully the communication and resources for bugs and game health is going to become better in the future. That's honestly all you can do right now. Criticize them for the fact that it took this much to get them to do this, but acknowledge the fact that, let's hope. I don't have much hope personally. I'm relatively pessimistic when it comes to how Behaviour acts, but we can hope, right? Cross our fingers, cross our toes, and pray that they actually do something. But yeah, I've seen too many people kind of responding to this and going, woo, yay, we did it. We haven't done anything. No, not to be pessimistic, but we haven't done anything. They haven't done anything yet. We did something. They haven't. They haven't done anything yet. They've just said that they're going to do something, and whether or not they do, we'll find out soon. But yeah, this is fine enough. It's okay. It's really funny that it came out 5 hours after I made my video, and I couldn't even make a video on it. So everyone else probably already beat me to it, like Scott Jund. I don't know why he keeps coming up, man. It's not my fault. Every time I keep seeing his videos when I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make a video on this, and then I open up my YouTube and I'm like, oh, Scott beat me. But anyways, the actual bug fix patch itself fixed an issue that causes killers to be unable to initiate a chase for the rest of the trial. I'm gonna go test this. I'm gonna be honest. As I said in a previous video, my Dead by Daylight series, where I go over every single killer, was going to be put on pause until they not only addressed this, but also addressed Streetwise. And thankfully, it looks like they've done both of those things, which is good. So, the DBD-a-thon may be back on the menu for the time being. However, obviously as a show of resistance, I wasn't planning on spending money anytime soon, but I'm definitely not going to be spending money until they kind of follow through with, or we get examples of them actually following through with what they said in this article, right? They fix the issue that causes chase music not to play, apparently. Of course, we got to take this all with a grain of salt, you never know. Fixed stuff related to Streetwise, fixed stuff related to Last Stand, fixed the copyright music issue, which I was actually affected by. I had to mute my game audio when I made my video on the patch when it came out. Fixed an issue where both killers and survivors would be slowed down while running up the right hand side of any staircase. That one's so stupid. I don't even know how that happens. Fixed an issue where, outfit, Death Slinger aiming animation was missing from survivor perspective. Be chased for 20 seconds. Don't care. Don't care. Decrease the base opacity of the fog cloud for fog vials to 33%, was 40. Decrease the fog cloud volume by 3 decibels. It's not refer to audio within the fog area, only the ambient fog audio. Alright. Some add-on changes, bug fixes, some stuff related to audio, fix some stuff related to characters. Did they fix the one with Alien where you could see, like, floating pallets? Xenomorph anywhere? Nothing? No. That sucks. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, they didn't fix the thing where Xenomorph could see his, the pallets. Did they fix the thing where... No. They didn't... Okay, they didn't fix the audio bugs for Xenomorph or Vecna, where certain audios would only play in one ear. That's not been fixed either. Environment and maps. Night collision stuff, that's good. But yeah, this is all pretty okay. However, speaking of that stuff where, oh, Xenomorph didn't get this bug fix or that bug fix, I noticed in the comments of my videos some people have tried to attempt to turn this into a us versus them debate, and I can understand why. Consistently over the last couple months, it has felt odd that Behaviour almost seems to be, like, sort of leaning more towards survivors. Like, certain things will get patched out immediately if they benefit a killer, however things on a worse level or same level don't. The Streetwise stuff is quite a good example of that. As someone rightfully corrected me, the bug with Nemesis a while back was actually with play with your food, not save the best for last. It basically made it so Nemesis can have permanent 15% haste, which is, you know, quite potent. But I personally wouldn't argue that was game breaking. That's not like instantly kill switch at the second they find out. But they did do that. They did kill switch him immediately. I'd say it was still bad, but you could have kill switched the perk. You could have kill switched play with your food until you figured out why that affected Nemesis in that way, instead of kill switching the killer himself. But still, that's my thing. And obviously, as we now know, with the Streetwise bug, which massively benefited survivors, only survivors, that wasn't kill switched until obviously yesterday, but it's now already been fixed. So I can understand why some people are concerned. Someone else in the comments, they had a big sort of paragraph about how the competitors to DeadByDaylight, such as Texas Chainsaw Massacre, VHS, did kind of fall down a similar path. They favored survivors more than killers, and as a result, there's no one who wants to play killer, and there's no one for survivors to go against, so the games die, right? Pretty simple. And I can admit that it's kind of reasonable to be worried that Behaviour may be going down a similar path. But yeah, I don't think we should be turning this into a us versus them debate. It should be us versus Behaviour, because at the end of the day, it is Behaviour who are the ones to blame for such feelings. The only people that are causing us to feel like we're being discriminated and stuff like that is Behaviour. They're the ones making these changes. They're the ones making these decisions. So don't go ahead and attack your friendly survivor main that you see down the street. Go attack Behaviour. Well, don't go attack Behaviour, but you know what I mean. Like, criticize them and kind of acknowledge or direct your hatred their direction, because it's not survivor players that are the issue. It's Behaviour. They're the issue and causing you to kind of feel this way and feel like you're kind of not being treated as the other side. I feel like you kind of get what I mean, right? But yeah, in summary, this patch seems to be pretty fine enough. Thankfully, the 2 bugs and issues I had have been thankfully fixed. So my DeadByDaylight videos may actually be back on the menu for those that may be interested in that. I will wait to see what the comments say, and yeah, because some of you may say like, don't do that, don't go back to the game, that's scummy. But if the game runs, I have to remember I was having performance issues, I was stuttering like all hell, but let's just wait and see. that's kind of the idea for this entire video. I'll go play a few games after this video's done, just to see, test the waters, etc. And yeah, this is a wait and see issue. Although this all looks quite nice and dandy, we need to see them actually prove that they are doing what they say they want to do. And I'm glad to see that other people are relatively in agreement with me, and this patch seems fine. But anyways, I hope you have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, etc. And hopefully, assuming something else doesn't pop up in the next 24 hours, because I was going to do a Skull Merchant video today, but then this popped up and they addressed it 5 hours after I made my video, and it's just like, why are you doing this, Behaviour? It's like you're trying to screw me over. But anyways, hopefully, assuming nothing pops up in the next 24 hours and no more controversies start that affect me and the Dead by Daylight community on a wider level, there should be a Skull Merchant video out tomorrow, which I'm sure for many of you will be very fun, because Skull Merchant is consistently one of the most controversial killers in this entire game, for good and not so good reasons. But anyways, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I shall see you in the next one.